Welcome back to the Late Show, episode number 3 with Lamar Odom.
What's up, my
Aron
guy?
Cohen. First of all, congrats on your own podcast on the low.
Facts, thank you, bro. Appreciate that.
But we need to start it off with me and you trending on Twitter. I know you got your rings back.
Yeah, oh, you're not the guy that gave me my rings back.
Everyone thinks that it's me.
Yeah.
We can put up a tweet, but everyone thinks that it's me that was the one who gave him his rings back.
We're close, but not that
Like,
close.
bro, I love you, Lamar.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I would give him for free, you know? Hey,
I
bro,
can respect
I'm just
that.
keeping it real. Like, it's $100,000. I'm only 22 years old.
More than that, yeah. I can respect that. That'll be a smart move. So good thing you didn't buy them.
And I'm glad you got them back.
Thank you, bro.
Let's talk about Russ, bro, because
Russ off the high. Now.
one win, and it seems like, bro, the Lakers won a championship in the LakersNation.
They were 0-5, bro.
They're 0-5. Finally won a game. Russ went crazy off the bench. Second game off the bench.
They beat a team that they probably were probably not supposed to beat, according to Vegas.
Oh,
I bet you Denver probably was favorite.
They were by 2.5. They're good.
2.5.
Yeah, but I mean, first of all, there's 2 games. It's been 2 games since Russ has come off the bench, and he's played well. The first one they lost, but it was a close game, and he played well.
Yeah.
But I mean, Sunday night, it seemed like everything just flipped. Russ went nuts. The crowd was going crazy.
I know he had that one dribble with the finish and then the shimmy after.
Yeah.
I think if Russ is playing and he winds up happy at the end of games, that's a good sign for Laker fans and Laker Nation.
So what do you think about him off the bench? Like, I know.
I love him off the bench because it could be his unit. You don't have to worry about passing. You can be aggressive.
Do you think if he starts playing really well off the bench, they'll move him back, or they should just keep him if he's playing well?
No, you're going to keep him if he starts to play well because you don't want to mess up the chemistry of the team. Hopefully keeping him off the bench, hopefully the team will start to gain some momentum and we get some wins under our belt. So you don't want to mess that up.
Yeah.
If that happens.
How does that relate to your situation? Because you were a baller, obviously, starting for the Lakers, and then you came off the bench.
Well, you had to accept the role, and I think he's accepted it. He said it himself that he will do anything for the team.
Yeah.
So he's been asked to come off the bench.
Yeah, and oftentimes people just say that, but they don't actually mean it. So this is an actual test for Russ, and he's been brilliant.
He's performed well. I'm looking forward to Russ to win the Sixth Man of the Year. Why not?
That would be insane because, you talk about a Hall of Famer, a guy who's averaged a triple-double twice in a season, coming off the bench.
He's definitely a first ballot Hall of Famer.
I agree.
But I think, it just goes to show your professionalism and how good you really are as a basketball player if you can switch roles automatically.
Yeah, and so what do you think about the Lakers showering Darvin Ham after his first win? Because I know you've seen that clip of Kobe reacting to the Lakers in the Swaggy P era on the Jimmy Kimmel show.
Yeah,
going crazy after.
But I mean, I think it's a different era in different teams.
People were upset. Same
expectations. You feel what I mean? But yeah. I think that's a good sign for the Lakers because that shows how that they're in it for and with their coach. That they love their coach. They didn't want to see him go through that. Who the fuck wants to start 0-10?
Right. No, I mean, going 0-5 and to have that much energy and passion after the game for the coach. I mean, that's his first win as a head coach. So it's a pretty big deal. And even though it came after
I'm pretty sure for their locker room camaraderie, which none of the fans or anybody that was watching could really understand that.
Yeah.
So you got to let the team be the team.
I mean, it's crazy how things flip though, because 0-5. It seemed like this was just like everyone was down, and then one win, Staples going crazy. Everyone's on Russ again.
We gotta remember the time that we live in. So if you're a sports or if you're a professional at any given time and you're under a microscope, everything is times 10.
Right.
You feel me? Especially if you're a Laker.
L.A.
Yeah.
Lakers. Only 8 turnovers on Sunday.
That probably was the key.
8 turnovers, play good D.
So
13 for 30 from 3.
Yeah, in practice, you got to really, get those guys in the gym and get those shots up, get those makes in, watch the ball go in a couple of times during the week, and preach, and practice that we didn't turn it over. And practice, if they turn it over, get their ass on the line.
Facts.
I bet you they won't turn it over no more.
No, and one thing that no one's talking about, the Lakers are number 3 in defensive efficiency.
But that
Behind
means
the Bucks and I think the Cavs, which is crazy.
That's what I want to see, because I want to see Darvin Ham's personality as a player rub off on his team, because they're put themselves in the hole a little bit by starting off 0-5. So I want to see Darvin Ham's personality as a basketball player start to rub off on his team, because it's a good time right now to get scrappy, to start to crawl up out this hole.
That's the thing. It's early. It's only been 6 games now. We got the Pelicans in town tomorrow night.
Yeah, I'm interested to see that.
How do you prepare for a guy like Zion? I know, like, when you were with the Lakers and Phil, 2009, 2010, it was all about you guys. It wasn't about your opponent. I know we spoke about this, but, like, how do the Lakers prepare for that?
If you guard him, you probably want to, watch his recent games and, see his strengths and weaknesses and which way he like to spin or turn. Zion probably going to catch the ball a lot in the post. So you want to probably watch his footwork, see what you're able to, give him and live with and take away from him. Because some players are just that good that they're gonna get off.
He's just a freak, though. It's like he's like a big guy, but he can like jump like a bunny and just dunk on you.
Really, in the NBA, I think with any good scorer, it takes a team. If you want to like completely shut him down, it takes a team to do that. Understand the team concept of defense on what you're giving and taking away.
Right. But what are your thoughts on Zion as a whole?
Oh, he's a beast. You can't really, he don't come around probably like every 10 to 20 years you're going to see Zion. I mean, you seen the guy, he popped out of his shoe.
I remember that. I remember his shoe exploded. I remember.
You know what I mean?
That reminds me of Victor, though.
Yeah.
The #1 prospect. I think he... In my opinion, I think he's even crazier than Zion. The hype around him is crazier.
Yeah, this kid. What's his last name again?
Wembanyama, I think.
Wembanyama. Yeah, he's sick.
That's gonna be crazy.
He like Lou Alcindor with the shot like a Steph Curry. He's like real sick. When he gets in the NBA, it's gonna be a problem. I can't wait to see that kid play.
Yeah, and there's a whole tank war.
Yeah, all
like Adam Silver even talked about it. Adam was like, "Yo, like." I don't even know what he was just talking about. Like, yo, don't tank for Victor. Like, there's
these
more to
teams
play for.
are looking to sink, right?
Yeah.
What would you do if you were an owner that wasn't going to win a championship?
Tanking 100%. This is a guy who can change your franchise if he stays healthy. It's a guy who can shoot the 3 from anywhere. He's 7'3". He's,
and you're going to break the NBA rules.
Is it a rule that you can't tank?
No, you can't.
I don't even know.
You can't
Are you not allowed to?
You can't do that.
I mean, it sucks for the fans, but
you can't do that.
Anyway, bro, honestly, it's so back and forth with Russ. Like, I did another poll on my page, and everyone was talking about, we can make this work with Russ now. Like, don't trade him. But then we talked about this before the pod. Miles Turner went on the Woj pod and was like, yo, like, if I'm the Lakers, I take a very hard look at this trade.
Well, if I was the Lakers, I would really take a hard look at that trade too.
And why is that?
Because you have the ability to, make your team a lot better. I love Russell Westbrook, personally and as a basketball player. But, it's 2 players.
Not just 2 players, though. It's one of the best shooters in the league.
You get an efficient shooter and a 2 shooters from 3.
Miles can shoot.
Which is your weakness. And a rim protector in Miles Davis.
So now Miles Turner, #1 shot blocker in the league, 6'11".
So now you got 2 shot blockers in Anthony Davis and another outside shooter. So I think you would have to at least think about it if you're the LA Lakers.
And then there
personal reasons aside for Lamar Odom. I don't want to see Russ go anywhere. You know what I mean?
No, we know you're a fan of Russ.
Yeah.
We know that.
But I think if you want to, if the answer is like we got to win now, I think you would have to consider it.
And we spoke about this off the pod right before this. You were talking about how you say fuck the picks, 2027, 2029.
He said
rounders.
fuck the picks.
Fuck the picks.
Because they don't play until.
What do you say? LeBron's gonna be where?
LeBron is going to be on the beach.
Gonna be on the beach in the Bahamas.
Those picks play, yeah.
So we're trying to win now.
On the Bahamas by that time.
along with the Vegas team.
Yeah.
So speaking of like this kind of stuff with Miles Turner and players kind of pushing the narrative that they want to be traded to the Lakers, do you have any interactions or do you know of any stories where
but the NBA is
and like Team USA and stuff like or like summer or like I want to be on the Lakers.
The players is a players league, so there's different things you can write in your contract. I know. So like for example, when I had got traded to LA from the Miami Heat, I had a trade kicker in there that was worth a couple of dollars. Okay. And I had to give the okay. You know, I could have said no and, keep the money and, remained on the Miami Heat.
So it was like a no trade clause? Is that what it was?
I don't know what it was, but I had to agree with it.
Okay. But you wanted to go to LA? Yeah.
And I made some money.
And look at that. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And you got 2 rings on your fingers right now.
That's right. So I can't be mad at it. So it's all about, I guess, for players, is just knowing your power and the power that you may have or the power that you and your agent may have to work out the best deal for you.
So were there like any instances you can recall, or like, in Team USA in the summer, like at a club or like whatever, you're hanging out with like other NBA players not on your team, where there was like, yo, I'm trying to get my ass to LA right now, or like I'm trying to go here. Can you help me with that or whatever? Like,
I mean, not that I can really think of like right offhand, but there's been players. If you could think about, a lot of players that have, demanded trades. I don't think that's brand new news to sport fans or anybody that loves fans. That's been happening in sports since trades have been happening, really. Yeah. Especially for the players that have power.
Kevin Durant.
You know what I mean? He wanted out of there.
James Harden.
He got his ass out of there. You feel me?
Yeah.
So
speaking of the Nets, we saw Steve Nash was canned this morning.
I'm not surprised.
But even crazier, they're already.
See, when I see shit like that, I just feel like you couldn't let me coach that team. He ain't never win.
No, I know.
But MVP. He have no team trophies.
By the way, it should have been Kobe's MVPs. I love Steve Nash, but those. I love
Steve Nash too, but it's like you wasted your time for what? In Brooklyn.
But I think it's crazy, bro. Like, they already have Ime Udoka. It's not official yet, but like Woj and Sham's already on it, saying like, okay, he's gonna be the next.
I'm happy for Udoka. That's the only good thing about Boston is Udoka.
I just think that's crazy though, how. He was literally fired this morning, a couple hours ago from this podcast, and now
only thing
Udoka is going to be the coach.
Good about Boston is the coach is a.
You're saying ever, or you're saying right now, or like?
No, right now.
Missoula?
They got Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum.
Yeah.
And the coach is a pussy grabber. And that's fucked up.
I mean, bro, but we talked about this in the last pod. Everyone does that. No, I'm not saying it's okay, and this is
the shit that's crazy about it, right? Corporate America, right? How much is sex going on in the office?
It's a very common occurrence. This one just caught the light.
It's crazy.
Everyone was talking about players like Matt Barnes, Stephen A. Like everyone was like, "Yo, this happens all the time." It just happened with what was that guy's name? Josh Primo. Different.
And it's like it was consensual sex, no?
Spurs.
Was this consensual sex?
Udoka was consensual, and Primo was a little flat. He was flashing people.
Who's Primo?
He was a lottery pick for the Spurs, right?
Caught him already. Done.
Lottery?
Yeah, lottery pick. Like 2 years ago, no?
Yeah, last year.
That's first 13.
They just dropped, bro. They dropped him, and he's a free. He cleared waivers, and now he's a free agent.
That's guaranteed money, though. No, who picked him up?
Nobody.
Who picked him?
Spurs.
They cut him before he got paid.
They owe him $8.4 million.
Oh, they owe him money.
They owe him. But that's crazy.
For what? Taking his dick out. That means. And how old is he?
He's a kid. He's a kid.
He's probably is a He probably has a I know had this thing. Sex addiction.
I mean, bro, he's a 19-year-old with all this.
If you're 19 years old and you were addicted to sex, you probably can't even pick it up because you just came out of college.
And all this fame.
Where it was just all about going to school and banging puss. Now you get to the NBA, you got a couple dollars, you think you the shit, and you took his dick out on the girl?
I think it's crazy.
That's too bad for him, though.
I think he'll be fine.
How good is he, though?
He's a good player.
How good? Because the NBA is all about...
He was under Pop.
If your problems outweigh your game...
Winning.
He exposed himself to the team's psychologist.
There's definitely shit that happened on the floor. I'm coming to you.
Pick him up again.
You think he's done?
The team psychologist?
Why does it matter if it's a psychologist or a trainer? It's like...
Because the team psychologist, you got to show, like, that's showing signs that he's a sex addict. He needs therapy.
Did you struggle with that?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you're still.
I can't put the Pornhub down, bro.
That's what
is bro, that called a struggle?
Like you said, bro, winning cures all.
Nah, yeah, but winning doesn't happen.
You win.
Yeah.
I think we went through it all.
Did we?
Yeah, and I want to talk about every time I put up a poll, like, yo, like, what do you guys want to hear from Lamar? They're like, we want to hear Kobe stories. So, like, any, like, little, like, I know you talked about Sasha. Remember that last clip about, you know, in practice elbowing him and, like, who's the guy shooting the game-winning free throws in Game 7. It's like, do you have any, like, Kobe stories that you want to share that, like, are untold? And
that I could think of?
Yeah.
Shit, I don't know who he was playing against. He must have had a bad game. A good game. I think we were playing in Phoenix. Because I could remember, like, and we got on the back of the bus and it was just me and him there. He was like, I'm better than Mike.
Is that after a win?
Yeah.
And what did you guys say?
I'm like, no, nobody else heard him. I'm sitting there, I'm like, I love you, Bean, but you ain't that good.
That was like 08, right?
I think it was It was before we got Pal. It was before we got Pal. I think Fisher was close to me. Fisher might have heard him.
But that's the thing, Kobe, I'm sure when he said that he meant it. He wasn't just saying it. He definitely meant that.
No, he did, yeah.
He think, yeah. I mean, he thinks he's better than Michael Jordan. And Kobe's my GOAT too. I didn't really watch Jordan. Like, I feel like everyone has their own GOAT. And Kobe is definitely mine. Especially for what he did off the floor. And for the city of LA.
Are you biased?
I know I'm biased. I said he's my GOAT. I didn't watch a single... I probably watched Jordan on the Wizards. I was born in 99.
No, you got the old Michael Jordan.
Old. 2 more questions. Favorite Lakers moment? I know there's many, so just give me one.
Can I give you 2?
Give me 2.
Oh, Game 7. Because one we beat the Boston Celtics in Game 7, and my wife bought me a Phantom.
That night?
No, that morning.
That morning?
Yeah, I woke up
before you even played the game.
Well, it was ready.
It was ready.
Yeah, so shout out to Khloe Kardashian, good looking baby. And 6 Man of the Year award.
Can you walk me through that whole day of that Game 7? Like, literally everything. You wake up and then from all the way to like Kobe struggling, down 13.
Wake up, nervous as shit. I remember getting to the gym and I'm just like keep like going off, like telling in the locker room, telling everybody there's no way that we can let Paul Pierce walk out of here with the trophy because he's from LA.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So there's no way we can let that happen. And I knew the game was gonna be a fight because every game against them up to that part was a dog fight,
low scoring dog fight.
So I really wasn't expecting I wasn't expecting him to go off. I know they wasn't really gonna, they'll put 4 people on him before they just let him go off. I know they was gonna make it hard. But our perseverance as a our camaraderie, physically and spiritually as a team, I don't think at that point could be beat by any team in the NBA. We were just too strong.
What was it like being down 13? Kobe having a bad. What was Kobe like? Like he was having a bad game. I know he was.
Just keep pushing. The ones that count the most will go in, and that was the mentality. Football game, 4th and goal mentality. Just tough it out. Just gut it out.
And then Meta hits that 3.
Yeah, and then that shit opened it up. I think that put us up by like 5.
Yeah. But then they kept fighting. Like Rasheed Wallace hit that 3.
Yeah, then I remember I'm seeing the highlights. Ray Allen hit a 3 on the corner. Yep. Rondo hit a 3 on the corner.
Rasheed Wallace. Crazy.
That go to show you that team, they didn't want to die. They had a lot of guts.
I think the final score was like 83-79.
79, yeah.
That's what you want. Like we don't have that anymore. Like a finals game will be like 120 to 110. And I kind of miss that.
I respect that team though.
The Celtics.
Yeah.
Do you think they're a dynasty though? Because they only won 1 championship. People talk crazy about that team.
That's just because who was on it. But they took advantage of their time. They got one.
Got one.
You know what I mean? But
look who we are, bro. Got the rings.
I mean, they got one though. But the reason why I respect them because I know what it took to beat them. You know what I mean? So I could, so all the teams, that, they climbed the mountain. They had to climb a tough mountain too to beat us.
Right.
That wasn't no easy win. So I had a lot of respect for them.
What were the vibes after?
They could like that team. The reason why they call that team a dynasty because I don't know who the Orlando team, that Orlando year, who they lost to, Boston. But that team was really close to at least being there 3 times.
Yeah. Who they lost to the Cavs?
At least being there 3 years in a row. They probably lost to the Cavs that year.
But at the end of the day, they got one.
Yeah.
But so what was it like after?
What winning it?
After you guys won that night.
Party, man. It's crazy. I went home. I went home with my jersey.
Champagne all over it.
Yeah, crazy.
In the Phantom?
No, I didn't get the Phantom till the next morning.
Oh, the next morning.
Yeah, my beautiful wife bought me a Phantom. That was dope.
Do you still have a relationship with her? Like, talking and whatever?
Nah.
No?
That's what happened when you're a scumbag. But I can live with it. You live and learn, Mr. Cohen.
That was actually the last question. Like, what's your biggest accomplishment and your biggest regret?
In life?
In life. It could be basketball, non-basketball.
Well, my biggest regret... my biggest accomplishment is having children. My son, Lamar, my daughter, Destiny, and my other son, Jaden, who passed away with 6 months. And my biggest regret, I would say, will be not honoring marriage the way I should have. You know what I mean? Because you lose so much when you have a wife, especially a good wife. You lose her family. You know what I mean? It's death to so many relationships.
Right.
That could have been avoided.
Only thing you can do is learn. Live and learn.
My bro.
That's it.
That's it.
And that's it for this episode. Again, congrats, Lamar, on your new podcast, On the Low.
Thank you.
On YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music. That's a wrap for the Late Show, episode number 3. We'll see you on the next one.